Do you think we'll always have war?
I think it goes to the force question too. So, for example, um, what do you do? I mean, let's play with nation states now. Although I don't know that nation states are something we should think of as a permanent
Oh,
construct forever.
interesting.
Um, but how is one nation state supposed to prevent another nation state from acting in ways that it would see as either detrimental to the global community or detrimental to the interest of their own nation state? Um, and I think we've had this question going back to ancient times, but certainly in the 20th century, this has come up quite a bit. I mean, the whole Second World War argument sometimes revolves around the idea of what the proper counterforce should be. Can you create an entity, a League of Nations, a United Nations, a one world entity, maybe even that alleviates the need for counterforce involving mass violence and armies and navies and those things? I think that's an open discussion we're still having.
It's good to think through that because having like a United Nations, there's usually a centralized control. So there's humans at the top. There's committees and usually like leaders emerge as singular figures that then can become corrupted by power. And it's just it feels like a really important thought experiment and something to really rigorously think through. How can you construct systems of government that are stable enough to push us towards less and less war and less unstable and another tough word, which is unfair of application of force. That's really at the core of the question that we're trying to figure out as humans. As our weapons get better and better and better at destroying ourselves, it feels like it's important to think about how we minimize the over application or unfair application of force.
There's other elements that come into play too. You and I are discussing this at the very high intellectual level of things, but there's also a tail wagging the dog element to this. So think of a society of warriors, a tribal society from a long time ago. How much do the fact that you have warriors in your society and that their reason for existing, what they take pride in, what they train for, what their status in their own civilization, how much does that itself drive the responses of that society, right? How much do you need war to legitimize warriors? That's the old argument that you get to, and we've had this in the 20th century too, that the creation of arms and armies creates an incentive to use them, right? And that they themselves can drive that incentive as a justification for their reasons for existence. That's where we start to talk about the interactivity of all these different elements of society upon one another. So when we talk about, governments and war, well, you need to take into account the various things those governments have put into place in terms of systems and armies and things like that to protect themselves, right? For reasons we can all understand, but they exert a force on your range of choices, don't they?